at this venue. Hagberg made a jump start in the first race and still won. Will he do it this time? And they're away. Clean start by everyone. No real changes. I think Stephen Moe got knocked down a couple of places, but it's straight away. It's the two X-rays that go ahead, and it's Hagberg from Jeffries, the white car of Hagberg. His normal green and white bodies, he's run out of them, he says. And then you've got Jeffries in the white and the yellow, and then you have Marcus Mobers in the yellow and orange. But already Hagberg putting a little bit of a gap on Jeffries. But he has to run clean, and Jeffries is dropping back. Losing a tenth or so a second. A lap, and a lot more there with that accident. So suddenly, Jeffries is the first one to blink, and that gives Hagberg a bit of a lead. And suddenly thrown into the mix now is this battle between Mobers and Jeffries for second place. Hagberg does a 12.33 lap. He can go a lot quicker than that. He can run probably 12.2 if he wants to, and suddenly he's got that lead. Jeffries is not going to be able to put any pressure on him, and drops another 0.2 of a second. So certainly, Hagberg saved his mistakes for the practice final and has gone off in the way he is able to do, and basically dominating already. So he's already lapped one of the other cars. He's going to pull in. Can't see that. Maybe Honegal actually maybe down a lap already. Hooper Honegal, who of course won the stock a few minutes ago, first leg. But the battle here is between second and third. Jeffries is dropping off Hagberg at an alarming rate. Hagberg 2 seconds ahead. But then there's one lap where Jeffries has gone as fast as Honegal. And he's now made a mistake as well. So it's now Mobers in second. He gets bullied back by Levenon as well. So this is not going to be Jeffries' Christmas card list is not going to include Juho Levenon now. As Levenon now fights to catch up with Mobers, but they are all a long, long way away from Hagberg. With Mobers, let's drop back one to Levenon, the blue and white associated car. The Finn never really got qualifying together. And hence the reason he started down in fifth. He was always there or thereabouts. He was often on for a really good time and then just threw it away. Now, as it stands, Hagberg has a lead over Mobers of 2.3 seconds. So interesting, since Mobers got past Jeffries, he's not lost any more time. Jeffries now in fourth. Levenon were with him third. Just going out of frame is the yellow and orange Mobers machine. Just tell you now that the white car of Hagberg having no problems whatsoever. 2.25 down, 5.34 to go. All the gaps are on the right. As you can see, it's that top four. Vogel in fifth, Stadler in sixth, Stars in seventh. Lost Honegal. So Anderson, who's in the A of this, in the C of the stock. And it's all got very static at the moment. All the drivers now, after a kind of a start where Jeffries really didn't have the car good at the start and dropped back and got bullied back to fourth. Gaps staying relatively constant, still 2.6 seconds to Mobers. Got a broken car 4, so we lose Stadler. That's the second car out of the A-main. So Stadler and Honegal have gone. Another car makes a massive smash. That's Anderson having a huge crash, and people are scuttling to try and do something about it. Let's move forward to our leader. Matt, he's the white car underneath you now. And we'll just see how he deals with the traffic that's coming up, which is Daniel Sieber and Mark Stiles, who are battling themselves for 6th and 7th. Well, 7th and 8th, actually. No, it was 6th and 7th, on the right first time. So the white car, that's our leader. He's actually lost half a second to Mobers, but I'm sure that's probably not a worry to him. He's 2.6 seconds as well. So Mobers is finding some speed, but is he going to find speed enough? Now, at this point, as Sieber lets him through very easily, Stiles will let him through next. And the X-ray of Hagberg comfortably keeping ahead, almost exactly to the thousandth. In fact, he gains 0.02 of a second on Mobers there with the CRC. Off camera, we've lost Levenon as well. So Levenon's broken his car off camera. So Jeffrey moves into third. So there's a few slap bangs, and it seems it's such an unforgiving track that you don't come back for it. So Levenon, Stadler, and Honegal qualifiers 4, 5, and 7 are already out with mechanicals. So extra points for everyone else in the game, but the main points are is number 1. Oh, that was hard. And Alexander Anderson has got a fastest lap of the time, but I'm not sure if that's an accurate count, but he may have just pulled a perfect one out. But even so, driving with himself is our double European champion. Remember, this is the man who's won the last 2 European championships. So Hagberg Practice final problems very quickly forgotten. And things are looking up for the Swede, who's standing on a box, even though he doesn't need to on the rostrum. I mean, you have to say Mobus has kept him honest in this one, but unfortunately from a distance it's not putting him under any pressure. Still just under 3 minutes to run. Jeffries is going to be very disappointed with this because he's not on the pace. Oh, and that's a mistake there from Sieber. So Jeffries really not on the pace. Hagberg trolling around doing laps. Let's drop back and see if we can find a bit of Jeffries. He's on the main straight now, going through the maze. He's in third, but car not really working to his liking. He's not done any laps, which he's really not done anything. His best time is 500ths back, but he's losing tenths here and tenths there. And the car, I don't know whether he's mentally just not that bothered anymore because he's third and he can't see himself catching up Hagberg, but he's a long, long way away. But he's so far behind Hagberg. And Mobus now has dropped back to 3.3. I think that's a bit of traffic issues. As he completes the lap now, Jeffries is 8 seconds back, so he's 2/3 of a lap behind him. And that has been a couple of accidents, yes, but mostly just from not being as fast in individual laps. And Jeffries won, inverted commas, the practice final. So, yeah. So Dominic Vogel, not mentioned Dominic Vogel, he's currently running in fourth. We haven't mentioned him because he just trolled around in fourth and hasn't got involved in this. But this race has been very spread out from about lap 5 when we saw the performance of the Swede. So we've got about a minute and 33 to go. Let's very quickly have a very quick look at Marcus Mobus going through the M at the moment and round into Efra. He's all wheels pointing in the right direction, everything fine for Mobus. But the class of the A final, and we've said this for now for 3 years in a row, is Hagberg looking 50% towards his 3rd European Championship in a row. And the last person I remember doing that is Renault Savoia in 1/8 off-road. I think he ran from about 9, 10, 11. He ran 8, 9 and 10. No, 9, 10, 11. It's very hard to retain European Championships, but Hagberg is making it look easy at the moment against a very high field. And let's now pick up our leader, who's underneath us now and going around the carousel. So Hagberg stamping his authority in an event, and I would think leaving his rivals scratching their heads about what the heck they can do. Because it does appear that unless he hits something himself, not only does he have the ability, he also has the ground speed. I mean, Mobus has hung on to him. He's only lost 0.6 of a second since he got into second place. But he has lost 0.6 of a second. Jeffries is now in different races so far behind. He has got third, but he's 10 seconds back. And the rest of the field has either dissipated or disappeared, as there'll be 2 more laps for our leader. I don't think there'll be 2 more laps for Mobus, so this will be him crossing the line now, and it's a victory lap for Alexander Hagberg. And that's taking him over. Just 2 more corners to go, and Hagberg will be the winner, which you can't really deny. So great work there by Hagberg. Takes the victory. Oh, and he's going to get away. Is he going to get away? So we've retained Alexander Hagberg. Well, Alex, that when you open a book and you look in the word textbook victory, they'll have your 8 minutes races there. That was a great run.
Yeah, to be honest, the nerves got the better on me in the practice final, so I just tried to take it easy and control the race, so it went pretty well.
And is the car set up exactly the same as yesterday, or were you fiddling with it overnight to change it at all?
It's the same setup that I ran in Q6, but I thought the track had a little bit less grip today, so maybe I will adjust something to accommodate for that.
So you're halfway through to your 3rd consecutive European Championship. Does that mean the nerves go down or the nerves go up?
I mean, my car is really good now, so that gives me more confidence coming into A2, actually.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Alex. I'll let you control that. So Alexander Hagberg has won the first of 3 legs of the A final, and you'll be able to see the next 2 on RC Racing TV later today. And we'll just stick. Clean start for Hagberg, which is the last thing he wants to see. Jeffries behind him. Can he get his car to work early on? Now, Hagberg already has got a little bit of a gap. But Jeffries is a bit closer. Car looks a little bit skittish on the rear end, I'd say. And I don't think Jeffries' car is working brilliant in the back. It's a problem for the 6 car of Vogel. And they've broken away. And Jeffries much, much closer now. Oh, no, bounce. He was getting closer. And he's now given a bit of breathing room to the current European champion to win the first leg. Hagberg, and Jeffries has another problem, and suddenly through goes Mobers into second from Lebanon, but the net effect is that they've handed another massive advantage to Hagberg. So Hagberg now effectively can only lose it. He can only lose it himself. Mobers did show some speed, but whether he's got actual ground speed to go faster than Hagberg, let's find out. That round was a 12.7 against a 12.5, so he gained 2/10 there, but Hagberg obviously knows he can drive right with himself. But behind the yellow and orange of Mobers is the white and blue of Lebanon. Oh, a mistake there, and he's picked him over. Oh, he's carried on going. Oh, and this is basically Christmas time for Hagberg because Lebanon's been given a stop-go for that. So we'll try and see that one again. The Lebanon was given a stop-go, which he didn't take that time. It means that Jeffries is going to inherit second. We can inherit second about half an hour behind the leader. So unless Hagberg makes a mistake now, effectively that's the wrong place to stop. So Lebanon stops in the wrong place then. But never mind. So Jeffries picked up second, and in third now it's Dennis Stadler, and fourth is Mark Stiles. Blimey. So Mark's got through to fourth thanks to the carnage. Can't actually see, running a lot further down than some of the other cars, but the fact is that there's a lead now for Hagberg of 4 seconds, and I don't think that even in 6 minutes Jeffries can find 4 minutes on Hagberg. He's got clear track, start concentrating, but a 12.5 there for, he lost 2/10 that time round. So really, unless Hagberg stubs his toe on some part of the track, there's going to be some issues. We're with Hagberg down the straight through the Montec maze and flicking left and right. Whew. Comes down again. The gap is not getting smaller, I'll tell you that now. The gap is getting bigger. 4.5 seconds that Hagberg has now, and there are still 5 minutes to go, but to lose that he's going to need to make a mistake. And those have been relatively few. The ones he's made have been serious, but they've been relatively few, I'm honest. There goes Hagberg. Now Hagberg is going to start hitting some traffic now. The traffic almost certainly gets straight out of the way. Stiles gets out of the way. Vogel is the next person who needs to move. And Vogel does move. Tiniest of mistake by Hagberg there, that's not going to cost him anything. Jeffries is a long way back. Lebanon's having a bit of a nightmare race. Much as there are a lot of them actually. The only person having a good race at the moment really, if we're absolutely honest about this, is Hagberg, who's got more traffic ahead of him, which includes Lebanon, who must be rather perplexed to be lapped at half distance effectively. That's Anderson getting out of the way. Halfway down. So Hagberg, let's just drop back to Jeffries, who's 2 cars back. See how that's going for him. He's got it down to 3.7 seconds, so he's gained about 0.8 of a second. But that's a long way when the guy in front doesn't make mistakes. And again, the car doesn't look very nice in the first few laps of Jeffries, and I think that's probably what's caused the problem. Now, just looking for anything else that's happening, and there isn't really. Everyone's kind of a little bit spread out. .23 laps down for Hagberg. He's got himself just 3 minutes to finish. We're with Jeffries at the moment, who has to lead at 4 seconds, and it'll be 4 seconds when he goes past again. 3.5. So Jeffries, I mean, Hagberg's not as short. If Hagberg makes one mistake, well, he's made one mistake, then the whole thing's back up in the opening. Otherwise, it's the three-peat, as they say, could be absolutely on the cards. for Hagberg. And another European electric title. He's currently the reigning champion in both the European electric championships, both this 12th and the 10th ISTC. So this will become his 4th European championship if he wins it. All won in the last 26 months, 25 months. Like buses, wait years for one, then loads come along at once. So no one really making any movement on that front at all. The battle for third hasn't happened either. Stadler's a way away from Mobers. So let's pick our leader, white car on the main straight. As he now comes in to attempt to become European champion. He's only got about a minute and 33, about 6 laps, 7 laps. Yeah, the gap to Jeffries, much as we saw yesterday, really, the gap to Jeffries stayed really solid once it happened. It didn't get any better or any worse, it just stayed there. But really, you know, he kind of basically just dominated the whole situation and can hold Jeffries at a gap underneath us now. Looking to come up behind Honegal in a few seconds' time. Honegal just obviously the stock champion. Oh, mistake there, but it wasn't. By Honegal. His work for today is done. He's won the stock championship. And now the work for Hagberg is within 37 seconds of being done. In 37 seconds, or now 31 seconds, Hagberg will become a triple European champion. Subject to, you know, the normal caveats. Let's see what we can do about replays afterwards. So, this is the victory lap. I think we might just get one. Well, he has to finish this lap because Jeff won't get one. So, this is the man who is about to become a 3-time European champion. This will be... Comes over the line, and Hagberg has claimed the European Championship for this event. Okay, it's a good start. Jeffries leads from Mobers, Levenon in third, Stadler in fourth. They've gone off pretty much in order. Levenon's got past Stadler, so that's swap on 3 and 4, and he's just pinged things straight off the track. So Levenon now is nowhere. So Jeffries, as we lose car, no, we don't lose car 10. So Jeffries from Mobers. Jeffries been in position a couple of times actually where he's come out for the third leg without his teammate in the event and actually won it, or done particularly well. 2 years ago in Italy he was chasing problems with his car in the first 2 legs and got it sorted for the third leg. Last year here he was just, much as this year, just beaten in straight sets. Mobers has one runner-up position already for the stock. Is he able to make a runner-up position for this as well and be a double runner-up? I'm sure he wouldn't be too upset with, though obviously it's always best to be the champion. Jeffries, soon they'll be catching up to Alexander Anderson, who had a bit of a bad start and lost a lot of time. Still third, it is Stadler, Vogel fourth. So the lead between Jeffries and Mobers is 0.4 of a second. Jeffries looking for a clean sweep of wins for the X-Ray team. Mobers looking to get a CRC onto the podium, or at least onto a winner of a leg. So they come in now. Very much a game of cat and mouse here. The lap times are ebbing and flowing by a tenth either way. And that's all. So far, without the pressure of being in the same race as Hagberg, Jeffries is absolutely perfect. Not even touched the side, minor side of the barrier. He's got 11 and a lap down already. I've 11 had some problems early on. And my guess is that any second now, 11 is now annoyingly fast behind him. My guess is that any minute now, 11 will be asked to let Mobers through. Behind Mobers, Vogel is next. Sieber's been lapped again, so we've got some lapped cars in amongst the lead cars. Stars and Honda have a little bit of a scrap as well. So Jeffries in the yellow car is not actually just ahead of Levenon in the blue and white. He is a lap ahead of Levenon in the blue and white. So Stiles has to let Jeffries through, just about halfway down, and the gap really between Mobers and Jeffries has been pretty static for a while, so unless Mobers can start finding a little bit more oomph, he's got two cars between them as well, which is the battling pair of Stiles and Honegal. So let's pick up Mobers more, he's got something to do, which is overtake someone, and his next person to overtake is Mark Stiles, and that'll finally leave him with a clear path to nice bit by Stiles there, leaving the clear path to Jeffries. I think the lead might just over the second. I think it's 1.06 now. I think it'll be very similar to that now. Comes down just slightly to about 1.02. Now what Mobers needs to do now with 3 minutes to go is actually start putting the hammer down and start gaining. There was a lot of traffic. It was quite awkward for several minutes. But now Jeffries is looking to win this leg. Now, I'm not actually sure. Oh, little mistake there. First time we've seen Jeffries, tiniest of mistakes, and now he's got, and then Mobers evens it up. So it's 1-1 for tiny mistakes, and the net effect of that is the lead may just have creeped out. No, there was 700 of a second to Mobers' advantage there, so he didn't do anything. They both make exactly the same size of minor mistake. Levenon makes a big mistake, but he's already a lap down. So they come through into the X-ray carousel, into the complex. Down now to ZenZ. I think a tiny bit closer for Mobers. And indeed, he's gained 0.02 of a second. I am so good at it. I can actually see 0.02 of a second. Now, Mobers is definitely closer at this point, but I think Jeffries gets a much better drive off the last corner. Lost a couple of tenths again there. Gets very close, but Jeffries' drive is not just the foreshortening and the stretching of time by the difference in acceleration. 2 minutes to go. The gap sits at 0.466. If Mobers wins, I'm thinking certain he will definitely take second overall. If Jeffries wins, I'm not sure whether he will get second. I think he probably will just get second. Massive accident happening between Honegal and I think Dennis Stadler. Honegal's car is now US, so I don't think he really minds. He's already won the European Championship. He's 8th one, and now how close are they getting? It's hard to answer. Jeffrey seems able to hold this gap now at around about 0.5–0.6 of a second. Underneath us. Some great close racing to close off the championship in the battle for the second overall in the European Championship Modified. And lot of pressure now from Mobers. Oh, that was close to a mistake there by Stat. Not deliberately. Almost got in the way of everyone, but didn't. So that's fine. I think it's slightly unsettled Mobers. Minute to go. So still 4 laps at least to go, if not 5. The gap eases out to about 4.7. I think it's going to be about the same again. That lap round 12.4. No, a whole exactly 1/10 of a second gain, and suddenly we're running back into traffic world again with Alexander Anderson. Oh, and Mobers made a mistake. And that's probably it. With 42 seconds to go. That little tiny dink. Let's shift forward to Ollie and the yellow card. It's only him making a mistake now to make a difference. So he's got this lap, and that's what's happened, but he got away with it. It wasn't really him. It was, well, it's all gone crazy now. Little minor. It wasn't really his fault there, Ollie. It was more a kind of fact that he got involved in the aftermath of this half spin. Net effect was he's a 2.2 ahead. It's a bit less now already. And he has 2 laps to go, I think. I think they're going to do this and another one. Now, it's possible that Mobers won't make the next one, and especially they won't make it. So looks like Ollie's going to pick up this final leg, because I think he will get the extra lap, and Mobers won't. No, Jeffries has won it. This is a victory lap for Jeffries. Mobers has finished. So congratulations to Ollie Jeffries for winning the leg. I'm not sure whether I can tell you whether he's actually won the whole damn, well, hasn't won, we've got second in the whole damn caboodle.